Welcome back to another Valley Sports Plug Roundtable. I am Chris Patrick. With me today are the fellas, Michael Benjamin, Tallman VSP or VSP Tallman, or Mr. Moneymaker. Also, Ben Miller back in the building. What is going on, guys?
What's good, man? Welcome, everybody. It's good to see everybody's faces once again. I feel like it was a month ago. I think it was exactly a month ago the last time we had the last round table. So, Ben, welcome. Tallman, it's good to see you. Chris, excited to be here, man.
Happy to be here overall.
I feel it does feel like it's been forever, even since we just did a stream. Like, I think me and you, Mike, we did Pass the Outlet last Tuesday or Wednesday. Something like that. The day's just flying by, but yeah, we'll even have Ian joining us a little bit. We got what we're going to talk about, Aaron Judge and the record. I don't know if you guys saw what Michael Benjamin posted, but Ben Miller has a story about that 60-second homer and maybe some inside information. So we'll be talking about that, talking about the Herm Edwards situation. You know, Ben Miller knows what he's talking about when it comes to ASU and football. And Ben Miller down there, what are you guys doing? And and then maybe the Brady Bunch, Celebrity Squares. But yeah, I mean, do you want to wait to get into the Aaron Judge topic until Ian gets here? I mean, that is kind of his deal.
Yeah, definitely give him some time to hop on.
All right, so then I think it'd be a perfect opportunity. Right. Then I think it'd be perfect to talk about this ASU head coaching situation. We did name drop Ben in the text message he sent me about how ASU needs to be innovative in their next head coaching hire. Ben, who do you have your eye on right now for the next head coach at ASU?
Now, there is the person you have your eye on, the person that you wish, the girl across the room that you're like, man, if only. And that person for ASU is none other than Coach Prime. Coach Prime at Jackson State has already turned around and secured multiple five-star recruits at a HBCU, a historically black college. And that is the kind of coach, the TV personality that we thought Herm would be, that can go in and win these recruiting battles with recruits in their homes with their families. And the thing is, Herm was old. Surprise, surprise. He is old. He did not bother to read an NCAA rulebook. He did not bother to actually lead a program at the Power 5 level. So the person that I think needs to come in as the next of this run of celebrity coaches, ASU needs to have Coach Prime, and we need to do whatever we can to get it. So I would say bring in Coach Prime, bring in his barstool propaganda behind him, and turn Arizona State into the school that everyone thinks that it is, but isn't actually. Turn it into a show. Because here's the thing. If we're going to lose every single year and have the first most of the Power 5, but the second most penalties and penalty yards in the entire NCAA Division I, then I at least want to see people getting carted off the field. Bring back Dennis Erickson's peoples. I want Vontaze Burfict to every single position. If we're going to get penalized, I want to see that our team not getting up afterwards. But in reality, we do need, and that's the fun part of it, right?
We don't need reality.
Someone like Kyle Dillingham, who is Arizona born and raised. He has an ASU undergrad degree, but he is under 35. He has coaching and OC experience in the SEC, now at Oregon. He was at Auburn. He's at Oregon. He has seen winning programs, not Auburn recently. That's not him. But he has seen winning programs, and he can actually grow with this program, and is from the Valley. The thing is, Arizona has become the biggest recruiting ground outside of Southern California and Florida for football, especially quarterback talent. If we don't get this next class of quarterbacks coming up out of high school, then we will remain to be unregarded overall in the next few years as the conferences realign.
Yeah,
Man,
I think you make a lot of
Dion.
No,
that was
you haven't heard about that?
No, I didn't. I didn't even see that. Was that part of the speculation?
A little bit, I think that's been out there.
No,
he was asking.
It's been a joke. It's been a joke that Coach Prime, for any of these top 5 or the top power conference schools that have coaching openings, he's, to my knowledge, committed to coaching at HBCUs and at Jackson State specifically into the near future. But that doesn't mean that the moment you have success at any level, someone goes, hey, but what about the next one? Well, he's doing that there, what could he do at ASU, at Wisconsin, at Colorado, at Nebraska, at the Jets?
Good point.
I mean, I love it. He's a big personality. Being so close on the West Coast to California, those are the people that we love. Barstool already has that bowl game in Tucson, the Arizona Bowl. Unfortunately, last year it didn't get to happen. It was canceled because of COVID. That could be a cool, speaking point, I guess, to transition him into the Valley as well. I love it, man. I love Dion. He's such a huge personality, and he seems to know his stuff. And it's on a lower level right now, so it could be a great stepping stone to see, if he really wants to continue this coaching and see where it can take him in the future. By all means, man. Because what else are you really seeing out there, Ben? Is there anybody else that's really tickling your fancy, I guess you could say?
It would be Kyle Dillingham. He is the OC at Oregon right now. He is Arizona born and bred, hasn't graduated from ASU. And so he is the next logical choice. I mean, right now, our interim coach is Sean Aguano, who has been the head coach at Chandler High, everyone's favorite high school in the East Valley.
Cody, what were you telling me? About Gambo and that coach?
Oh, he taught government at Chandler High, and Gambo's wife was one of his students. Yeah, that was the connection.
Right.
Yeah, this dude as recently as 6-7 years ago was teaching high school government at Chandler High. Now he's the interim head coach at ASU. So I think he doesn't lack for passion, but I don't think it's the job that we need him to fill.
Well, yeah, I don't want to. The problem of recruiting in state. How do one of those guys help, entice people to stay or to come here? I mean, I guess the Arizona born and bred thing, but it seems like we are bleeding our best talents to Southern California and these Texas schools. We lost you to Texas.
And I cannot express this enough. Oh, speaking of a Miller, Scott Frost was spotted on camp. Wait, was Scott Frost really spotted on ASU's campus recently? That's horrifying. For anyone who doesn't know, Scott Frost, the now disgraced former head coach of Nebraska. But that's the main thing is we need a coach that is either hyper celebrity, even more so than Herm, or is someone who is going to be young and dynamic. ASU has won number one in innovation for the last 8 years in a row. We have the 8P. If we are going to be innovative in anywhere else besides sending stuff to freaking Mars, then we need to hire a young and dynamic coach. And that's where it's going to start.
Start thinking outside the box a little bit, right?
I'd say so. Well, they They better do something. I think this ASU program has been a false bill of goods for a long time. And it seems like you get all this noise, all this buzz about how good they are, but they can't win a bowl game. They can't win a Pac-12 championship. I don't know, Ben. I don't know. But
I was in the stadium the last time we played against Stanford back in 2013 and got our teeth kicked in. And let me tell you, Andres Pete, who many of us went to high school with and is now playing for the Saints, is still doing a good job. So I'm going to take that as a win, no matter what.
All right. I'll allow it. Well, I think speaking of wins, this would be a good time to bring in Ian, the upset Nos fan, to join us for this next topic. Ian, how is it going, brother?
It's good. You brought me on speaking of wins, and that's all I know how to do.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Damn. Beautiful. I love it. So are the Yankees going to win the World Series?
As long as they can get past the Astros, it's possible, but that's kind of a big if.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
So did you see the teaser that Mike posted?
I did
About
not.
Well, it turns out, I'll just let him tell it. Ben, what's your inside scoop on the Judge 62?
Wait, what happened with Aaron Judge? Did something happen?
Yeah, did he break the all-time single season record for home runs?
Ooh, I don't know if it was the all-time single season record. I think it was the Yankees' all-time single season record, minus the people who, for whatever reason in the 90s have been stricken from said record.
It's actually the American League single season record.
Oh, yeah, the American League single season record. There we go.
120-year-old league or something.
Wah, wah, wah. Listen, I would say, before I get into this, steroids should be legal because the main thing is you still have to hit the ball. You may be juiced out of your mind, but you have to have the eye to even hit that ball. And so what? If the moment you have contact, it's going to go either through the stands or into outer space.
Well, Davey brought up a good point last time he was on. The steroids should be not only legal, but mandatory.
Mandatory,
that
exactly.
way it's a level playing field and we're all having fun watching.
Oh, man.
Don't juice the balls, juice the players. That's
exactly. Yeah.
You can standardize bats. You can standardize balls. It's the X factor. It's the people.
Yep. And whatever's flowing through their veins.
As Daniel Tosh would say, baseball is one strike away from being football. So you might as well get the steroids pumping through the game again,
There we
Absolutely.
go.
Well, there's the whole Buster Posey ruin that hits at the plate. Oh.
I'm just salty that my team has been shit for freaking 7 years, Ian. That's all it is. All right.
Hey, I gave you some hope in that Instagram post, didn't I? It's a little.
We'll take anything we can get at this point. So
yeah.
I do like the young core, but yeah, Aaron Judge. So he hit 62.
Yeah.
Ben, what's the inside scoop? What's the juicy details you got for us, man?
So Aaron Judge hit 62, the Yankee record, so to speak. But I was on my first morning call this morning for my new job, and suddenly one of my coworkers says, "Oh yeah, no, it's my best friend. He caught the ball." So through 3 degrees, y'all know the person who caught the ball, who caught Aaron Judge's 60-second home run ball. Which I think leads an even more important discussion of what happens. What do you do? If you were in this situation, do you keep the ball? Do you give the ball back to Aaron Judge or the Yankees? Or do you sell it?
That's the moral dilemma everybody has, right?
I think you'd have to ask Aaron Judge what his price is for that ball. What is he willing to give up? Because that ball has already been appraised at, I think I heard $6 million last before it was even hit.
What?
$6 million.
It went over 2 million?
I heard someone already offered him 2. I think throw it
I've
back
heard
is the
2
right
and I've heard
answer.
6, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was the auction house offered him, like, some auction house, I don't know what it's called, offered him 2 million and said they would do a deal with the Yankees so that they'd buy it for 2 million and then they'd loan it to the Yankees to put it up on display in the stadium. So that would be cool. That's what I would do.
That's a good move.
Yeah. If they were gonna like put it on display, not turn around and flip it.
I would buy it for 2 million and put it on tour. Buy a bus also, and it just go from ballpark to ballpark. I don't know.
See, here's the thing: the most expensive package for Yankees season tickets is around 17,500 per year. If you expand that out, it's like, let's say this person is around our age, is approaching 30 years old, 50 years up to the age of 80, 50 years of season tickets at that $17,000 mark point. That's only $850,000. So you could get your money's worth out of this ball if it's appraised at that 2 million, that 3.5, that $6 million, and still have basically behind the plate season tickets for life with this ball if you just decide to not sell it, or to sell it and not give it to the Yankees. So I would say sell it, get that money, and then be there at the Yankees as the person who's like, you are the reason that we don't have this ball anymore.
You'll get unlimited airtime every time that you're at the stadium.
Exactly.
You can flip those tickets easy too, but be making your money back for your season tickets within like 3 game sales, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know much about the guy that caught it, but I know it was hit in Texas, and it makes me wonder if that guy's going to sell it to the Yankees or if he's going to look for an outside party.
Yeah, it was here against the Rangers.
Yep.
That's right. Do the Rangers play in like the Dallas Fort Worth area?
Yeah, they play right here.
Arlington, right?
Yeah, so our DFW, you have Dallas, you have Fort Worth. Arlington is where my head is.
Gotcha.
So it's right there in the middle. It's you have Jerry World, the Cowboys Stadium, AT&T, and then right next to it is Globe Life, where the Rangers play. And formerly, the greatest Texas team of all time, the Dallas Renegades XFL team.
The house that Nolan Ryan built.
The most important of all.
Bring it back.
Well, I'll be interested to see, man. That's always a dilemma, right? It's such an important piece of history. But if you have the opportunity that falls into your hands, basically, I'd probably side with where Tallman's kind of seeing. If you could sell it to an auction house, you win and the franchise wins itself because it can put it on display where it needs to be, and it's still, a great part of history that they can show for everybody to be excited about who loves the Yankees. Can't attest to that, Ian. Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, I spaced out towards the end there. What?
Man.
Okay, never mind. Sell it to the Philippines and then throw it into the middle of the ocean. Don't give a shit about that ball anymore. Get it out of here. That's where I'm going. All right.
Oh man, that just made me forget what I was gonna say is that's still 11 shy of Barry Bonds' MLB record. Do you recognize that do you guys recognize that as the record? What about you, Tallman?
Well, it is the record.
Yeah.
That is the record. But if you ask, a good population of MLB fans, they're not going to say it is because it doesn't count because, allegedly some people were doing steroids, right? So it is the record. I think it's the record. What's special about this is it's the American League record. So he lucked out on that one.
He's still 11 behind Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, all-time Arizona State baseball player, I will say.
Very true.
But also, you are double digits behind the person who has the record, the person who was never convicted of doing steroids. So what? Your head sizes as an adult.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure when he was at ASU, he was like 60 pounds lighter than when he played in the league.
Oh, more than that.
Oh, so much more.
I don't think that's just from cheeseburgers,
Here's the thing. I think I was 60 pounds lighter when I was at ASU. Like, let's talk about that.
Bullshit.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
You'd be tipping over in that chair, man.
All right, Ben's juicing.
So is the season over, or do the Yankees have any more games? Like,
the
season, have the ability to?
The season ended yesterday. Yesterday was the last game. They rested Aaron Judge for the last game, and tomorrow starts the wild card series. So, no more chances for Judge.
I was just gonna
say back to square one. Sorry, bud.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say though, looking at the list of players ahead of Aaron Judge on the list, they've all been accused of roids. I think it's Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire twice, and Sammy Sosa 3 times.
Yep.
You don't think there's any chance that Aaron Judge has done some kind of special needle or?
I mean, in his lifetime,
lotion or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, that dude is just so big. He's just so
yeah.
He's the Michael Phelps of hitting dingers.
Yeah, he's 6'7".
His body is created to do this one thing.
But how big was Barry Bonds? Barry Bonds had to be like 6'3", 6'4". He wasn't no slouch either.
He was 6'2".
Oh, okay. That ain't 6'7". There's a difference for sure.
Yeah, Sosa was only 6 foot, and then McGwire was 6'5", but we all know McGwire definitely did steroids.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the only one who admitted to it, right? I don't think Sosa ever. Sosa was he part of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the allegation. Yeah.
I forgot about the cork bat.
I remember that
broke open, and that was all.
He acted all confused. He's like, "Oh, it was an accident."
He's like, "Oh, well, no, this is my practice bat. I must have grabbed the wrong one."
Yeah, exactly. I grabbed the wrong one.
No, you don't understand. This is the bat I shove up my ass before the game. I'm sorry.
Maybe that's why he wanted to bleach his skin.
Oh, dude, he looks bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he looks.
He looks really bad.
He looks like a ventriloquist dummy. It's really scary.
That was good.
Has anyone seen what Barry Bonds looks like these days? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Last I saw him was
Making
2
fun of
years
Sammy
ago,
Sosa.
I think, when we're talking about Bonds now.
Yeah.
That's right. He was like a coach. Yeah, he slimmed down again. Crazy what happens when you stop playing and doing steroids.
Now, here's the thing. When we're looking at this year for Player of the Year, MLB, is it going to be Aaron Judge or Shohei Otani?
Oh, it's Judge for sure.
Judge.
Are you kidding me?
Why?
Shohei Otani, who has not been doing things since we've seen Tungsten O'Doyle do them back in 1913.
Yeah, but he's gonna. MVP? He did it last year too, and he's gonna do it again this year. You can't expect Judge to hit 62 home runs with a 300 batting average, almost 20 stolen bases every single year. You know what I mean? Like that.
But
that's
you
a once in a generation.
Shohei Otani to do like 3 minus that every single year, like he's done.
I wouldn't say it's 3 minus. Wait, 3 minus the home runs?
well, not necessarily the home runs, but like pitching so good, just being inhuman and doing things that no one has ever seen that the Angels do not deserve. If the Diamondbacks had Shohei Otani, how good would they be?
No, but the Angels missed the playoffs. They were terrible this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Angels are
true.
real bad with him and Mike Trout.
Yeah, so he's not going to win. You got to be on a playoff team at least to win.
But you're putting up numbers at that point.
Well, I mean, yeah, he did hit 34 home runs, but that's just a little over half of what Aaron Judge hit. So, for perspective there, I mean, I get what you're saying when you're playing both sides of the ball, but 62 homers is impressive.
I think Otani is going to be an MVP candidate at the very least, MVP finalist, more likely every single year for the rest of his career.
As long as he's with the Angels. The moment
Yeah.
he goes to a real team.
I think he could do it on another team too.
Well, he's
'Cause
only
I don't
on a
thi-
one-year deal, right?
I don't expect him
Yeah,
to stay on the Angels.
30 million 1 year.
Yeah, because they're trying to sell the team, I think.
Yeah.
Because they got caught up in the huge corruption scandal with the city of Anaheim.
I like what Steven said. He's absolutely right. What the Angels are doing to Trout and Otani's careers is criminal.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
100%.
To some extent, though, that's true. But to some extent, how much is Trout's fault for staying there?
Yeah, but didn't they get?
I mean, he's been there for a long time.
Too.
Didn't he have the original highest salary ever? Like a couple years ago.
I think so, because it was like a 10-year deal or something like that.
At one
or did
point
he just sign a 10-year deal?
How many playoff wins does Mike Trout have?
I think that's a big goose egg, right?
I know the Mike Trout with the Angels only has one playoff appearance. I think they got knocked out in the first round. I don't know how many games they won, if any.
My goodness.
And it's like they had a good roster. Like Cody said, Anthony Rendon, they had Justin Upton at one point. They had players. Albert Pujols, yeah. Yeah, because they paid him that ridiculous contract that I think he's still on. It was like 10 years, $100 million or something crazy. But
yeah, he was never doing it alone.
They were swept 0-3. Yeah.
He's only played 3 games in the postseason out of his 1,323 career games.
Goodness.
Over 12 seasons. Only 3 in the postseason. Man, he might as well be on the D-back.
The new face of the D-backs.
I'm curious, what if not besides the Yankees, or besides the Yankees, I should say, who else do you like in the playoffs, Ian?
Well, the Dodgers are going to go far, obviously. I do like, for a wild card team, I really like Seattle, but I don't think they're going to go far. For National League wild card, Padres, I think, have the ability to go far, but they're not going to because for some reason they can't get their shit together. There's a bunch of teams I like, man. I think the Braves are in it again. I think they actually won the division, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they caught up to the Mets.
Yeah, I think they knocked the Mets down to the wild card.
Yeah, they got the Braves got the bye.
That's ridiculous. Fucking Mets, man.
Yeah, they ended with the same record, 101-61, but Atlanta had the tiebreaker.
Wow.
Yeah, do you have a lot of people from back home that were Mets fans, or are they predominantly Yankees?
I definitely knew people that were Mets fans. There's an okay mix of people back that are either Yankees or Mets.
How does that
It
split go?
seems
Like, how's that allegiance? You know, like in Chicago between the Cubs and the White Sox, it's like if you live on this side of the town, you grew up as a White Sox fan or Chicago fan. Is there any
so
difference?
a little bit. If you're in New York City and you're in Queens, that's pretty much Mets territory. I'd say
If you're, like,
Brooklyn too.
You're in Manhattan proper is like Yankees. Every other borough is Mets.
Almost. Yeah, Brooklyn, Queens, I would say is Mets, but the Yankees play in the Bronx. I have no idea what
the new Yankees or the old Yankees.
both. The old stadium was right across the street from where they built the new stadium. I don't know what the fuck happens in Staten Island with anything. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine. They could root for the Pirates for all I know.
The Davidsons.
Yeah, but yeah, Manhattan and the Bronx, I would say, is Yankees territory, and then Brooklyn, Queens, I would say is Mets, and then if you go upstate, it's just completely mixed. There's not really a reason or rhyme to it.
Now, are people in Buffalo rooting more for like the Pirates because they're like right there?
They actually will go. I've never been to Buffalo, but if they're not rooting for the Yankees, sometimes they'll root for Toronto, or they'll root for. Why am I drawing a blank on the goddamn? What the hell is west of New York? Michigan. Tigers.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Cabrera boys.
Yeah, good old Miguel. That big old bitch.
That's a sorry franchise, the Tigers. I haven't seen them have a successful season in my lifetime that I can remember.
Yeah, they really thought so when they had Justin Verlander.
Oh, that's right. They had JT Martinez too. I'm pretty sure that's where we got him from. Right when he was breaking out.
Mm-hmm.
That once again, the Tigers reminds me of the famous Shohei Otani tweet. Mike Trout hit 3 home runs and raised his average to .528, while Shohei Otani did something that hasn't been done since Tungsten Armo Doyle of the 1921 Akron Groomsmen, as the Tigers defeated the Angels 8-3.
Yeah, I like the Tungsten Armo Doyle as a reference is pretty clutch. Just to say that, like, I don't know, to use that to reference old baseball is pretty awesome at any point in time.
People.
Facts, Steven.
do Bill's baptisms, aka going through a plastic table or any table for that matter, do those count for baseball too?
I don't think I've ever heard of that. It's awesome though.
Have you never seen a Bills Mafia tailgate?
Nope.
Ian's not a big football guy.
Buffalo is so far from where I grew up too.
The most dangerous place to be a folding table in America is Buffalo, New York on a Sunday in the fall.
True story.
Man, that's where I need to move.
No one to say.
Yeah, Tallman's been initiated into the Bills Mafia.
Tallman has firsthand experience.
Oh yeah.
Except for that was
we
like
might need to get that video.
Wood table.
There's videos of people baptizing their children. They take a baby and they have like a foam fake table, and they put the baby through the table. It's a Buffalo baptism.
Breaking tables and buffalo wings, man. Let's go. Sign me
You
up.
had me at throwing babies.
That's quite a culture. I love it.
Chris.
What can I say? Well, do you guys want to talk about the Suns getting their ass kicked by the Adelaide 36ers?
Yeah, dude. Who gives a shit? Except for, I'm pretty sure they played the Thunder tonight, and the Thunder wiped the floor with them. So
they beat the Lakers between those two.
It would beat the Lakers. I looked at the box score after the game against that Australian team, and they played everyone literally like 22 to 25 minutes. Like the playing time was even. So I didn't watch the game, but I'd imagine like they were doing all sorts of different rotations and stuff. But I don't care about preseason basketball. I just don't give a shit.
No, it's hard to realize. Monty in the game briefing afterwards said that every single one of the starters, they were on a minute limitation time check, and he was saying that every single person wanted to go back in, that they were feeling competitive, they wanted to win it back, but that we had such a deficit going into the second half from those players who were shooting their heads off. Like, that was amazing.
I watched a YouTube clip that I think really put it into perspective for me. It was a clip from like the Australian equivalent of Sports Center, where they're talking about the 36ers beating the Suns, but from their perspective, it's this triumphant statement of like, you know, Australia basketball, like, we matter, we did it, it's like this huge thing to them. And I'm sure to the Suns, like, they were like, this is the first game of preseason, fucking who cares, we're just like, you know, working on our plays and just getting loose for the season. So I think I think a lot of that factors into why it was a loss. Like, this team actually, there was one team that actually wanted to win and one team that really couldn't give a shit less, because why should they, honestly?
This is not championship level mentality that we want to see from our Suns.
Yeah, I saw this headline on Reddit. It was in like the local newspaper for where that Australian team is from, and it said 1.7 million 36ers block out 270 million Suns in historic win, and it like takes up the full front page of the newspaper. So they're super stoked about it.
Yeah, that's
and
what
yeah,
I'm
like
saying.
great. Yeah, I agree, Ian. It's like it's their championship, it's their Super Bowl, the biggest game that team will ever play in. So those guys were obviously trying really hard. Not to mention being able to get game film of them playing on an NBA court against NBA players.
But yeah, they
awesome.
were also in Las Vegas. Do you know how many scouts were there?
Oh, that's all going down in Las Vegas?
Yeah. Do you know how many scouts were there?
They played the Lakers. They played the Lakers in Vegas. They played the 36ers
they played
at home.
Excuse me. Bad. But no, you're right. But exactly that. I mean, they're not playing to beat them. They're playing to get a job in the NBA. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the players are looking at it as like, you know, we could be here. We belong here playing with these guys when they step on that court against the Suns. And the Suns are stepping on that court thinking like, you know, I got to stretch enough so I don't pull something later on.
This is the first game of a 90 to 100 game season, depending on if we make the playoffs or not. And also including the preseason and all-star. Yeah, so it's like they got a lot of road ahead of them. So not worth going all out against a foreign team that's trying really hard, because that's how you get hurt. I mean, let's be honest.
Imagine Devin Booker gets hurt because he had to fucking go for some gnarly block against an Australian dude that makes $40,000 a year.
No, exactly. And then you're looking at him like, what the fuck? And then that team never gets invited back to play in Phoenix. What's Steven got here? Okay, I'll read it.
I mean,
it says, in all honesty, shouldn't the Suns take the preseason a little more serious than usual? With all the distractions, the last thing they need is a bad narrative going into the season. Yeah.
You could think about it the same way as the Cardinals. I mean, we had guys that really needed to get on the field to just get in rhythm with everybody around them, with all the new pieces. I mean, this bench is completely different. You have to take it serious. I get it. Am I going to be freaked out over a loss in the preseason? No. I mean, we bounced back and we came back in the fourth quarter and beat the Lakers yesterday. So they're already making the right strides. But one of the bigger things was they had two guys who killed us from the three. They ended up, I think, making 24 3-pointers, shot over 60%. And that was one of the big issues from last year. So to come out right off the gates against a foreign team and give up shooting like that, I'm not concerned. I'm disappointed, because you have to start setting a precedence right away about the changes that you're making for your team and the culture. But I mean, I'm with Steven. Yeah, we got to take it serious, because everything that's been a distraction with this team, from DeAndre Ayton, the possibility of trying to trade for Kevin Durant, and now the Robert Sarver selling of the team. Let's just focus on basketball and go out there and start dominating early. So a loss to the 36ers, yeah, it's a preseason. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, but that's fucking weird, dude. Especially when the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the worst teams in the NBA, comes out and beats the brakes off of them by 30 tonight. So I don't understand how that's even a game, even with our second unit. So.
2 Arizona State grads on the OKC Thunder.
There you go.
There's maybe an offer. Let's go, Dort.
Always with the A's.
Who's the other guy? Ben?
Rob Edwards is on a 2-way.
Nice.
No, Mike, I think, yeah, you said that great. I agree totally. Taking it serious is weird. It's disappointing to see him lose, but I'd rather there be these headlines about actual basketball being played and not about the owner be acting inappropriate, not about are Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton best friends? Oh my God, they haven't talked all summer. Like, that stuff's stupid, and that's an off-court distraction. And is Devin Booker still with Kendall Jenner? Like, let's talk about basketball. Sure, it's a loss, it's weird, it sucks, but at least hopefully we can put the offseason.
I'll finish Chris's statement. At least we can put the offseason behind us.
But
you cut out there for a second, Chris. Sorry.
Good catch. Good
job, Mike.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
that's the thing. This is the kind of stuff every single one of us has been at a job that we have hated. And we've hated the people that we work with, and we dreaded going into work every single day. When we look at our players right now for the Phoenix Suns, do they like each other? Do they like the people that they work with? Do they like the organization that they're in? These are the questions that are going to plague us throughout the season, and we're starting to see that beginning now. And so I think that there's a chance that we have a huge blow-up coming very, very soon for the Phoenix Suns, if it hasn't happened already behind the scenes.
I also, at the same time, don't think this team is done building itself as a full unit. I honestly don't know if DeAndre Ayton is really going to be here. Like, they might work to
trade him in January.
Trade him and get some other pieces involved for somebody who really wants a big man, because if the situation is soured so much, we know who our main guys are. And, James Jones just won Executive of the Year 2 years ago. Monty Williams won Coach of the Year last year. Those are our guys that they're going to try and kind of build around. And DeAndre Ayton has already kind of showed his cards. So if they're going to move anybody, it's going to be him. And that can, end up changing this roster around a lot. And obviously we're going to be trading Jay Crowder. What kind of other pieces we can get for him, I don't know. But this team isn't done creating itself at this point. So you just kind of have to rock with who we have. Hopefully our new guys that are coming into the fold can fill some of the, defensive prowess that Jay Crowder had, and some offensive, intensity that we need on the second unit since Cam Johnson is coming to the starting lineup. But my goodness, man, I feel like we just got our ass beat in Game 7 3 weeks ago. And we're already about to start on the 19th. So that's the beauty about sports, man. You don't have to dwell on pain for that long. You get to move forward and start figuring things out for the better sooner rather than later.
I feel like I'm like maybe a chapter behind, and I just want to make sure I'm following correctly. Jay Crowder is forcing his way out of Phoenix because he's pissed that Cam Johnson is starting ahead of him. Is that correct?
Yeah, they basically came out and said, if you want to be a part of this unit, you're moving to the second unit, and you won't be on the floor to start the games or end them. So that was kind of it. He was ready to move on. So.
Gotcha.
And I think that could be because he probably sees he has. Sorry, Chris, but he probably sees that he has a couple more years to probably be a contributor to a team that needs a starter. So, I think he's right around my age, 31, 32. So he doesn't want to already see that coming into the twilight, where he has to accept his bench role. I don't think that Jay Crowder is going to be the type of guy that won't accept it in the future. But for right now, he wants to capitalize on the time that he does have left. And I don't blame him. I mean, if you feel like you still have the legs to contribute as a starter, try and go somewhere else. But there's better ways than to be like commenting on somebody where it's like the top 5 items that are coming into Suns training camp, and then you quote tweet it and you're like, I ain't gonna be there, bitch. Like, what are you doing, man? Like,
yeah, that's immature bullshit.
Yeah. And I threw in the bitch part. He didn't say that, so
yeah, I know.
But he might as well have. You know what I mean?
We can read between the lines, Jay Crowder. I was just basically. I mean, that's a good point, Mike. But I think it's just mutually beneficial for the Suns and Jay Crowder. Obviously, like you just highlighted there, if he's going on Twitter being passive aggressive about it, they could have handled this stuff behind the scenes. And I didn't want to see Jay Crowder to finish the games. I would be okay with him starting the games, I suppose, but he just was inconsistent for us last year, especially when we needed him most. Throws up a lot of threes, has a quick trigger, and streaky. When he's hitting. But boy, when he's cold, he is ice cold. And unfortunately, that happened at some of the worst times. Tallman, I know you got to get out of here pretty soon. I mean, you can stick around if you want, but I just want to know before you leave us, if you're going to leave us, how do you feel about Jay Crowder and the Suns going into this season?
Oh, how I feel about it?
Yeah, how do you feel? Tell us how you feel about it, man.
I think what they should try to do is do a Kevin Durant and say, "Oh, we're sorry, come back and let's all be friends again." I think that's what they need to do. That's probably the best thing that they can try to do, because losing him, and we already know they're not going to replace him. It's like, oh, well, Cam Johnson's going to replace him. Okay, well, who's going to replace the runner-up for 6th man of the year off the bench? Who's going to be his replacement? Is it going to be Mike's buddy, Shamit? Probably is. So that's going to be a huge hole. That's going to suck. But I think they'll figure it out. The other terrible thing is I don't know if DA is going to be able to be a part of this team. So my last thought before I got to go, sorry, I got to get out of here, guys, is it's 100 days until they can trade DA. So mark your calendars, break out your advent calendars, eat a little piece of chocolate every single day until you get that grand prize of being able to trade him on January 15th. So thank you guys so much for having me. Hope you guys have a good night.
Peace, Tallman.
Always a pleasure, Tallman. We'll see you next time.
Take it easy.
I'm going to have a little piece of chocolate every night waiting until he gets traded.
Unbelievable. I was just going to mention that we're going to be recording the Heat Check podcast this weekend. So that will be out next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere you can find podcasts. Just use the Google machine, type in Valley Sports Plug, and you'll find us. If you're already on the live stream, you know this. And if you're listening back and you've made it 50 minutes in, you also probably know this. So thank you to anyone around. Thank you, Steven. Fellas, I think sticking on this Suns topic, I have a radical concept for you. Going to want to run it by you. I think obviously you can't predict where the ping pong balls are going to land, but I think you find a way to leverage these guys that want to be traded and maybe some other pieces, and you try and get the first pick in the draft to get this kid Victor Wembanyama, the 6'4" French basketball player. Have you seen this kid? Insane.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it's him and like Scoot McPherson? Scoot Scoot something are the two number 1, number 2 players in the 2024 draft. This is going to be an absolutely insane year where we're going to see people and entire teams tanking for Victor. Like if Oklahoma City ends up with Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama in back-to-back years, we're going to see a dynasty there. Like they will do whatever it takes.
Now,
I don't know.
I love
see,
that you say that, Ben. I love that you say that. Go for it, Chris.
No, I just really quickly had to mention that I think Chet Holmgren is going to take much the career path of one Greg Oden. That's all I got. Yes, thank you, Steven. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So what that Chet's already, before he's even played an NBA game, been ruled out for a season. So what?
I hope this kid's as good as they're making him out to be, but I constantly hear, I mean, how every year we go through, this kid's going to be the next LeBron and this kid's going to be the next this. And how often is it actually that? I mean, we're still waiting for Zion to be something.
I was going to say Zion Williamson.
Yeah. I'm just reserving. I'm withholding expectations until he at least gets drafted, I think.
Well, that's a big thing too, like you talk about that, Ian, and what have been the downfall of a lot of these guys? Their inability to stay on the floor because they're hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Chet Holmgren has incredible size, length, and skill for a big man to play on the outside, but is already going to miss the majority of this season, if not the entirety, from being injured. I pray to God that this kid can stay healthy, because my goodness, can he play outside and be 7'4"? Just some of his moves that he can make, big man, like shuffle screen moves at the free throw line and extend for layups from there. Like, that shit is incredible. You don't see that. It is once in a lifetime generational type of stuff. But is he going to be able to withstand playing 36 minutes a night, 82 games, plus playoffs when your team needs you? I mean, one of the main guys who has been a generational talent with similar size, obviously not the same, but Kevin Durant, what has plagued him the past couple of years? His inability to be healthy and stay on the floor. Big time, you could talk about his last year with Golden State and his Achilles injury, when they really needed him to win that series, and they ended up falling against the Raptors. So I would, oh my goodness, dude, what's his name? How do you say it? I'm going to butcher it.
Victor Wembanyama.
If Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren find themselves on the same team, oh my goodness, dude. That'd probably be with the one Suns game that I would sell every year, because I'd get like $2,000 for the tickets. I could make all my money back from that.
But the thing about Wembanyama is that he is already playing in the EuroLeague. He's playing these games and he's sinking threes overall. Chet is, I think, much more of a traditional big where he can play that 5 role. But he is evolved into the modern sense where he is able to stretch out and play and try to shoot from the outside. But Victor is very much a wing with a center build, and all they need to do is like put some meat on their bones, and you would see adult KD, the KD in his prime at a much younger age is what we're going to see. So when they're 18, 19, 20, 19, they're both 19 years old, like 18, 19 years old right now. We're going to see them in their prime at 22, 23 in the next 2 to 3 years. This is going to be insane.
Honestly, that is insane. To put it like that, I did see a little, when I was just peeking at a little bit about Victor, is he's 18 years old, which means he was born in 2004.
Oh,
Stop.
fuck
Let
off.
that sink in. Let that
God
sink
damn
in.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
I did
it's
not
just
think
starting
that
to-
we'd be. That's how time works. I get it, but like, man, when you put it in perspective like that, it's just crazy. And Ben, great point. Like the fact that they are only 18, 19 years old in 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, that's pretty much what we're seeing with Devin Booker. Is he seems like a seasoned vet at this point, and he's what, 25, something like that, like 26, I think. I don't know.
He's played 6-7 years in the league. He's like 26, 27 years old.
Yeah.
I think 7.
And
yeah,
so,
he's going into his 8th year, I think. Yeah.
do you think Devin Booker's in his prime?
7-8 years in their job, they're a veteran.
Oh yeah.
I'd say that Devin Booker's prime is probably a year or 2 from now. Once he's like 28, 29.
I
that'll
feel
be
like,
his
I feel like
prime.
that's true. Yeah.
It's
I
after his
Mhm.
contract.
After his, well, no, he just signed his huge extension. But Ben, I do like what you said in regards to dude, I'm gonna mess it up until probably halfway through the season. Wembanyama. Say it one more time.
Wembanyama.
See, I'm missing an N. Wembanyama.
I gotta look.
He's already playing in the Euro League, so I could see that his game is going to transition to the NBA similar to Luka Doncic because he's already playing better competition and he'll be ready to take the step against the world's best. And the NBA game is so much more spread out. I know one of the things that me and Chris were talking about on one of the last PTO was Nikola Jokic bringing up the point about how the teams can play zone and guys are right on top of you. And the NBA is really made to stretch things out to give the opportunity for your best athletes to create and, showcase their skills. So it's really all just going to be about if this kid can stay healthy, because he already shows that he has the skills. So as long as he's on the floor, man, it'll just only be a matter of time.
And think about who he's learning from. He is on the same. He's already on the French national team. He is learning from Rudy Gobert too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has a similar body type to Rudy Gobert, but is able to do the things that Kevin Durant does. Is that insane?
Yeah.
Generational,
man.
Both ends, just dangerous person, and if he stays healthy, like you said, it's gonna be hands down.
Yep. I'm excited for the future of the NBA overall. I mean, Ian, I did want to ask you because I think there are some parallels between the Suns and the Nets, which is your favorite team and hometown team up there. They've had some offseason turmoil, but they're kind of bringing the band back together. Also, Katie and Kyrie. How do you think that's all going to shake out?
I mean, after last season, my hopes are not up at all. I'm just going to be cautiously optimistic, take it one game at a time. And with the preseason opener, it was the first time I've seen Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Nick Claxton all on the floor at the same time. So as long as that can stay a thing, I'm pretty hopeful that we'll be okay. I think we could be a top 4 team with that squad starting. Kyrie Irving did just have a baby, so he's on paternity leave. So, that already, I'm having fucking flashbacks of Jesus Christ, when's he coming back?
Kyrie will do everything he can to not step on a basketball court. Like he's almost as bad as Ben Simmons.
Yeah, it's rough.
I know he didn't control having a baby, but at that time, whatever.
I'm trying not to be like, God damn it, Kyrie, but this is the one scenario where I think it's like, yeah, man, take your time. But yeah, I have no idea when the hell he's going to come back, and that kind of freaks me out. But if it's that 5 starting, I think we'll be okay. And then we got the Sixers too, and that's going to be one of our biggest tests in game 1. So I think we'll know. I think I'll have a good idea of how the season's going to go pretty early on.
You got Mike?
I will say, I feel like, dude, I'm kind of already done with the Ben Simmons hate. As soon as the guy steps on the floor for the first for freaking shoot around, he has a brick and it hits Kyrie in the face. Then the first bad play where he has a turnaround jumper that clanks off the back of the of the backboard. Just like, oh, here's Ben Simmons again. I mean, like, we know he's not a good shooter, man. Like, let the guy get out there and start playing again. Like, my goodness, he's a great defender. He's a great contributor. He can pass the ball. He can get everybody involved. Just let him get back on the floor and stop freaking dogging the kid, dude. Like, I'm kind of done with it, you know? Like, and whatever. I know that social media is all about meme culture and that kind of shit, but like, my goodness, man, just let the kid play for a little bit.
Well,
Whereas like Russell Westbrook, if Russell Westbrook want to act up and be a crazy bitch, whatever, and then comes out and airballs a free throw, yeah, dog on the kid all you want. But we already know what Ben Simmons has gone through. Like, let him get back on the floor and get going a little bit, you know? Like, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
someone very early on in the Ben Simmons like saga, I think it was Kenny Smith, said something to the effect of like the NBA audience and media is not prepared to talk about mental health issues. And I think that's what we're seeing now, because we're still ragging on Ben Simmons, even though he's back and playing. And I don't know if you saw him on JJ Redick's podcast, but to me, it seemed sincere when he was talking about everything he was going through and stuff. So, yeah, I think for a lot of fans, it should be time to grow up and just judge him for the product that he puts on the floor. If he does shitty on the Nets, fucking keep dogging on him. That's, he's in that spotlight. But to keep clowning on him for stupid shit like Kyrie getting hit in the face with his ball, like, he doesn't have any control over that.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
dude, that's happened to everybody. I've freaking shanked the shot and it slammed right into somebody's face before. I mean,
dude, I've never played organized basketball and I've done that to someone before.
But I mean, I feel like he's in a really good position. He's in a really good spot for his skill set to expand the guys around him like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, who are going to demand the ball the most and do a lot of the scoring.
100%. He fits the team really well because, like, yeah, he can't shoot, but he doesn't have to. He already has 3, arguably 4 shooters on the floor with him.
Yeah, and you're getting Joe Harris back this year again.
Exactly. We don't need Ben Simmons shooting at all. We need him playing defense.
Right.
We have no defense without him.
Yeah, if he plays his role, he's a great player. Like, he was a top prospect coming out of LSU, top high draft pick. You know, did good for the 76ers at one point, and the relationship just soured. I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying about the mental health. I think he does bring a little bit of it on himself, the way he's handled it, like situations in the past. But absolutely, for like the stupid stuff like that, just let it be. Like, give him a chance, because he is still relatively young. I think he's another guy that's in his mid-20s. Like probably still trying to figure it out. Yeah, so we'll see. The story is still being written on Ben Simmons, and if he can come out and deliver on the court, all that other stuff will disappear, and people will stop talking about it.
100%. I think it's the main thing that we saw with like any player. It's where they end up and which coaching system is the best and development system for a team is going to be best for them. Where you see Ben Simmons did not work out in Philadelphia. Like, he did not turn out well. You can see that for so many different players where it's like, if they just end up in the right place at the right time, they would have been all-stars. They would have had an amazing career. I think the one thing that you can look at is Andrew Wiggins in the most recent turnaround, like going from the Timberwolves, I believe, to Golden State, where it's like, yeah, at the Timberwolves, he's been playing and was getting 23 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists every single game for 2 years, 3 years. But he was never improving upon that to what the Timberwolves wanted him to do or to what that team wanted him to do. They wanted him to be the star player. But he is someone who's going to go out every single day and he's going to get 20 points, 10 rebounds, and X number of assists per game. That's the play. And if that's the player that you are, you lean into that part. And that's what teams need to build around you. It's like, oh, no, this is you. We're not going to improve you. We're not going to take away from you. We just need to plan for you.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have to get beat up by Draymond Green to.
Damn, I thank you for bringing that up, Ian. I definitely wanted to talk about that. You guys got to inform me about exactly what happened on that because I'm still a little confused.
All that I saw, it sounds like, I mean, it's a fucking cesspool trying to decipher what happened because it's all NBA Twitter and NBA Reddit, but it sounds, from what I've gathered, Jordan Poole was playing and acting a different way because he knows he has an extension opportunity coming up, and something he did in a practice pissed off Draymond Green, so Draymond Green punched him in the face during like a heated exchange, and they had to be separated from each other, and now the Warriors are looking at disciplinary action. He's probably going to get suspended. That's all
for
I
a
saw.
game?
Yeah, something like that.
Probably a preseason game too. That'll be great.
It's Draymond Green. Nothing sticks to him.
Draymond seems like a toxic teammate when he does shit like this.
Yeah.
Because this isn't the first time. I mean, he was nut punching people that one year, like left and right. I mean, I know that's not his teammates, but I go from Chris Paul was nut punching too.
When was that?
I missed that.
No, Chris Paul's been a well-known nut puncher, like in games, like just going.
Draymond was the nut kicker. Remember?
Oh, you're right. Nut kicker.
That's
right.
He was punting Steven Adams balls, halfway across the stadium. I can't remember who else he did it to, but yeah, I'll never forget
Harden,
that.
Right? Was Harden the one where he was like laying on the ground? I don't know.
Chris Paul punched Ben McLemore in the crotch, I guess. And Julius Hodge. I don't know.
I'd be curious
Julius
to see how
Hodge
blatant that is. Yeah.
Fairly.
Here's Chris Paul nut punching compilation.
Okay, so there's enough instances for there to be a compilation.
Share the screen.
It's 26 seconds long. Just so you know. Let's see. How the hell do I share my screen? I'm too old.
I wonder if you can.
Stop
I think the present
camps.
button at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, share screen.
And then it'll let us bring it up.
Boom. Can you see?
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, Mike, yeah, you bring it up. Sometimes me and Mike double click on things because we both have control over the driving seats. So, like, if you see the screen like pop in and go out real quick, that's because we clicked on something at the same time.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
I got it full screen, so just let me know when to click play.
Go for it.
All right.
Oh, that was a grab. That wasn't.
That
even
was more of a
punch.
grab, yeah.
That was a swipe. That's a tap. That's a punch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, not surprised.
Right. It's not nothing.
Whoa!
I thought he was gonna smack Blake Griffin in the nuts just walking by while he's mid interview. Just
that would have been great.
I was kind of pissed because part of me did want to see Blake Griffin on this Suns team. I thought it would have been very interesting, but I saw he did sign somewhere. Do you guys know off the top of your head where that was?
Yep.
Celtics. There you go.
Isn't he taking a weird number too? He's gonna be like 91 or something. It's gonna be some crazy number. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, number 91 in Boston. Well, I mean, they have so many retired numbers going back to.
You know what, Chris? Exactly. That was from where I heard it. It was the same thing. It was like, well, they're running out of numbers. They don't really have that many, so he's got to go with.
Basically, 1 through 15, not enough.
We're not going back there.
Ben can't wait to have triple-digit numbers. Ben can't wait for triple-digit numbers.
I'm ready for emojis, man. Everybody just has an emoji.
I want to see the first
There's just an emoji
with the Batman symbol on their chest.
I want the squirt gun emoji.
Or, dude, how great would it be if every player had to have like a facial emoji? So when the ref goes and calls a foul,
he just makes the face.
And they're like, foul on. That's his fourth team foul.
And then the person has to be like, was it or? I don't know. Maybe that didn't land. Mike, I already know if it was just any emoji. I know if it was just any emoji, Mike's would be the metal flexing arm emoji.
Yeah, that's mine.
Iron, just straight iron.
All day, every day, baby.
I'd have an eggplant emoji as mine.
Do you just put up your arm at the same time and just feel like it was where the cutoff is? Ay. All right, conference realignment. Ben.
Here we
Go
are.
for it.
Okay. So, as we know, we are moving towards a world where there are going to be two super conferences. We have the Big Ten and the SEC. The Big Ten most recently have outreached, and they have gotten USC and UCLA to commit to joining the Big Ten in 2024 or 2023, sometime in the next 2 years. The thing is, this is not going to be a bad thing because this means the Pac-12 will die and that we do not need to deal with the Pac-12 network as a TV provider anymore. But the thing that's dangerous right now is that as the Pac-12 stands, USC and UCLA leaving is going to be very dangerous because that means there's 10 schools left in the Pac-12, turning it back into the Pac-10. The biggest brands, Washington, Oregon, Stanford, Cal, they're about to be poached too. They're in talks currently with the Big Ten to also join behind USC and UCLA, making the first super conference with over 18, almost 20 teams open. The moment this happens is the opportunity for those Western schools, ASU, U of A, Colorado, Utah, to break off and join en masse into the Big 12, which overall, I think, no matter what happens, the Arizona schools joining the Big 12 is the best possible scenario for us because we will get to play against Texas schools, Texas Tech, Baylor, soon to be Houston joining the Big 12, Oklahoma State, who we just got our teeth kicked into, like I said that we would a couple weeks ago. We would get to play Kansas State. ASU basketball is 2-0 against Kansas all time. Kansas has never beaten ASU basketball because I know I have been there in person at both instances watching ASU kick ass every single time. So also on a personal note, living in Texas, I would love to see ASU come travel out to Texas Tech, come travel out to TCU, and me get to cheer them on here in Texas. All right. Do not cut me off.
I'm sensing a lot of personal reasons for why you want this to happen. Obviously, you are also a Kansas fan. Am I wrong?
But I'm a Kansas. I'm an admirer. I would say.
Admirer. Okay.
Now, there is another Miller who's a Kansas fan who somehow still went to ASU and did not cheer for them. He was the ASU grad who was literally wearing a KU sweatshirt at Wells Fargo Arena watching KU play ASU.
Let's go.
That's commitment. I got to kind of admire that, to be honest.
You see it happen. But the main thing there is ASU joining the Big 12. You're going to get a wider conference with a better TV deal no matter what. They play on ESPN. You can watch their games on ESPN Plus, especially when they're playing non-ranked opponents. With ASU and U of A being in the Big 12, they would be the westernmost school. You still have access. You're 4 hours away from Southern California. You can have the fertile recruiting grounds of the Western U.S., but still have the benefits and the intro into football recruiting heaven, Texas, to recruit people from there. So you have the best of both worlds at that point, but you don't need to deal with Pac-12 after dark, with all of this other stuff that we have to deal with as fans in different time zones.
Yeah, it's definitely going to open up new possibilities for not only football, but for all the sports and basketball itself. Bringing up playing Kansas twice a year would be exciting. I just don't think there's any way that the Pac-12 can be salvaged at this point, especially with its two big, focus point schools heading in a different direction with USC and UCLA. It was only a matter of time where some of those other ones were going to follow suit and start trying to figure out what their next plan of action was. If you don't have those major California schools within the Pac-12, what do you really have? As much as, we could say that we're homers, we love ASU and we love U of A, that's what the foundation of the Pac-10 has been built upon. So I at this point, I'm all for it. Giving new opportunities to these schools to build their brand, to expand their reach, throughout the United States, not just here on the West Coast, and start dipping their feet into different recruiting areas, can hopefully start bringing these schools back to a little bit more predominance. Because even this year, when I'm seeing I don't know, Washington is like a top 25 ranked team. It's like, is that true? Like, are they even going to have a chance when it comes down to the college football playoff? You can see these rankings and it doesn't really mean much. So if we can start building what those teams were, like when USC had Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, obviously allegations aside, really being on a predominant national level for the conference is going to be super beneficial. So it was only a matter of time, especially when they were talking about doing the super conference about a year and a half ago, I think on the SEC side. So if we're going to be the ones to get out ahead of it, let's go for it,
Let's run for it because, like you said, too, who is ranked? Who is going to actually be playing? If you look at the Big 12 this year, the only unranked game of a Big 12 school that's happening this weekend is Texas OU.
And that's a big game.
The only matchup between unranked teams. Every other team in the Big 12 is facing a ranked opponent, whether it's Kansas State, Kansas, where game day is going to be this weekend, TCU, Texas Tech, Iowa State, like all of these places.
So does this mean I can cancel my Pac-12 subscription?
You could
I think
find a place that you could get a Pac-12 network subscription.
Yeah, Sling TV.
Ooh.
I don't like it.
Oh, it's leaving. You don't like Sling TV or you don't like Pac-12 network?
I don't like Pac-12 network, man. I don't like that I had to go jump through fucking all kinds of fucking bounds and leaps to get ASU.
The fact that you have to do that in home turf,
yeah,
to get the game is insane, and that's why the Pac-12 Network failed. And also, that's a shame on ASU and shame on Michael Crow specifically, the president of ASU, for his support of Larry Scott, who has single-handedly ruined this conference with a TV deal. Like, that's what caused it. No one even in the conference is able to watch the games because the Pac-12 Network decided, oh yeah, we're going to be a pay-only subscription service with Dish Network, who no one has, and forego being a part of anyone else, like DirecTV, or thinking that maybe other people in the country want to watch a Pac-12 versus Pac-12 game.
Yeah, I run into the same issue with Valley Sports Arizona. I can't fucking find it anywhere. And
it's impossible to watch any Valley Sports. Yeah, the Suns, the Diamondbacks, like you have to either have premium cable, satellite, or it's not on any of the like Sling or anything, right, Ian?
It's definitely not on Sling, which it's driving me nuts, man. Because I went through a thing a couple weeks ago where I was like, I don't feel like I really fully assimilated as an Arizonan. So I wanted to watch more Arizona sports. So that's why I got Pac-12 Network, and I wanted to go get Valley Sports Arizona so I could like get the sense of community and all that shit. And I can't fucking do it. It's like so hard. It's so hard.
I'm the ASU homer, and I don't even have the Pac-12 Network. No, that's just horrible, man.
Yeah.
Where can you find it now? Is it just only on Cox? I mean, my goodness.
Valley Sports?
Or no, Pac-12 Network.
But
it's only on Dish, I think.
I'm sorry, Pac-12 or Valley Sports, or both?
Pac-12.
I got it on Sling TV, but I had to get like an extra sports package with it for like an extra $5. I have no idea where to get Valley, Arizona.
You can get it on Cox. I know that for sure.
I don't watch enough television to justify buying a whole ass cable package just to watch the Suns play.
Yeah, I can't do cable.
I thought I saw like the NBA like package for being able to watch games was like the price was reduced or something. I'll have to look that up.
It's gonna be $100 for the whole season.
For one specific team?
I don't know, but Suns will be blacked out for us.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, at least you'll be able to see all the Nets games, huh?
Yeah, for sure. That's the perk of living here is I can watch all my teams from back home. I get MLB.TV for free too with my phone plan. So I'm chilling.
Yeah, amazing how you can watch teams 5 hours away across the country and not the ones in your backyard.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's really stupid.
I love that for us. Even though, guys, I was at a wedding this weekend in Amarillo and was able to go and get some actual merch of feeder Arizona Diamondbacks teams, the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
I do know of the Sod Poodles. I love MLB, like minor league team names. They're my favorite.
Here, let me actually grab the shirt for y'all.
Get the Montgomery biscuits.
While he's grabbing that, Ian, what's up with the name? Why are you an upset Nas fan?
I saw Wu-Tang and Nas over the weekend, and Nas's performance was a little bit underwhelming for me. I think it was because of the structure of the concert, because they had like Wu-Tang come out and play a few songs, and then Nas come out and play a few songs, and then Wu-Tang come out and play.
Yeah.
But Nas like he like sped through like so many songs, and he like didn't play like very major songs, and yeah, it just kind of left me disappointed. And I'm running out of names for like the whole Ian the blank blank thing, so I just went with this.
All right,
It's
let's see
perfect.
the grand reveal here.
Hell yeah. Go
That's
Sod
beautiful. It
Poodles.
just says sod poodles, and it's long sleeve.
Of course.
Very
It
appropriate.
does get chilly here.
Got to break it out when you can. Yeah, Ian, to go with what you said, I saw him at Red Rocks. Oh man, about 4 years ago now, in the summer of 2018, and he was basically the headliner. He was the last guy on. I could only imagine it was a way different show. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But Red Rocks is the place you got to go before you die if you love music. So
Red
go there
Rocks
if you
looks
can.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
See
love to go
whoever you
there.
like, because major artists are always going there. So
Did he play Life's a Bitch? Because he did not play Life's a Bitch when I
Yeah.
was and I was like, what the fuck? I gotta like go see him again now.
He's like, yo, y'all want to listen to my new shit?
He did play new shit, like quite a bit of it actually.
There you go.
the only thing I wish he would have played "War Is Necessary" from Grand Theft Auto 4. Love that song.
That would have been dope. Yeah. He didn't play "I Gave You Power" either, which kind of drove me nuts. He played pretty much everything else, I'd say. He did "Got Yourself a Gun" and a bunch of other classics.
There we go.
Well, fellas, it's been real. It's been fun. I would say it's even been real fun. But it looks like it's about that time. Man, yeah, this was a good roundtable. We'll be back at it next week with another live stream for you, me and Michael Benjamin. Maybe see if we can drag VSP Tallman out here. But yeah, keep an eye out on all the social medias, as you see, at AZ_VSP on all the Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, Valley Sports Plug in Google, and you'll find us. You're here. You're great. Ben Miller, thank you so much. You're over here. Thank you so much. Ian, thank you so much. Michael Benjamin, I will see you Saturday as we record the Heat Check podcast.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's great to see you guys, man. Appreciate y'all coming on.
Hey,
Good to see you
appreciate
guys.
Thanks for having us.